Hey guys, Annie here from the garden. So my gem squash has got powdery mildew, and it's something I've actually never really taken the time to learn about. I've just pawned off the duties onto Duncan, and that's not always fair, and it's not going to help me in the future. I need to understand what's happening in my garden. So I did a little bit of research, and I just thought I would share this research with you in the hopes that it benefits you and you don't have to go through the struggles of having to learn it yourself. Or maybe it just condenses it into a way that's more understandable for you. But if it helps somebody out there, then I think it's done its job. So today I'm looking at powdery mildew. I'm going to treat my plants, and I'm taking you along on the journey. So these are some of the questions I asked myself on my journey through powdery mildew and trying to find a solution for it. So this is what we've got. First and foremost, what is powdery mildew? Well, it's a fungal disease that thrives in humid and in dry conditions. How is it spread? Simply through wind, water splashing up onto the plants, as well as plants overcrowding. Now, why is this a problem? And this one, I think, is probably the most obvious thing, but we take it for granted as gardeners. So the main reason that powdery mildew is an issue to your plant is because it spreads across the entire surface of the leaf, and it blocks out the sun, which is devastating if you consider the fact that the leaves are essentially acting as your plant's solar panels. So if you take away its exposure to the sun, it doesn't get as much energy, and therefore your plant becomes weaker. And as your plant weakens and weakens and weakens, it's no longer able to produce, which means you get lower yields. In front of us here, growing up along the chicken run, is my gem squash plant, and it has sadly been hit by powdery mildew, which generally starts off with 1 or 2 little speckles, and it slowly gets more and more, and eventually will take over your entire leaf. I think I'm going to start at the very bottom and work my way up. As I go, just remove as many of these powdery mildew leaves as possible, and then we'll move on to the next step. This is going to be very naked by the end. I just hope it's enough. There's so many bees buzzing around here. It's actually really nice to see. So I've come through and I've removed so many of the leaves that this thing is now looking a little bit naked, but hey, for the greater good of the garden, not the worst thing. So I'm going to come around now and we are going to spray this plant. Right, now that we're done with the pruning or the cutting back of these leaves, we're going to get rid of these leaves down the driveway where they're not near the garden. Please remember, don't compost your powdery mildew leaves. All you're doing is then feeding it back into your soil. Our next step in treating the powdery mildew is now to spray it. So I asked across all my social media platforms if anybody had any idea of how to treat powdery mildew, and I used that as a stepping stone to figure out what would best be suited for me and my garden. And the method I've settled on today is going to use this spray bottle as well as a mixture of milk and water that we're going to spray on the plants. So it's my understanding that the milk actually contains a protein that is a natural fungicide. So we're going to give that a shot. There are a couple of different methods that you can use, and I will give you an overview of that while I'm spraying, just so that you have something to listen to while you watch me hard at work. But today I'm going to be focusing on the milk method. No little spider. For the milk and water mixture, you are looking at a 1:9 ratio, 1 part milk to 9 parts water. I'm going to mix that directly into my spray bottle, and then I'm going to go around and spray the leaves so that they are completely coated. I'm not sure how much of this mixture I'm going to require. I have 2 plants that I'm essentially spraying down today. I'm going to spray the gem squash because it is in need, and I'm also going to spray down our zucchini plant just because it's the same family of plants, same species, and I don't want the fungus spreading to that plant. So one is preventative and one is more of a treatment. So let's see how that goes. One cup of milk, and 9 cups of water. Hey guys, so as promised, here are a few more natural remedies that you can try. Let's go spray some plants. So the first one is a baking soda spray, and it's made up with 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a liter of water, and a drop of dish soap. You could also spray your plants down with neem oil. Neem oil is extremely good for controlling the mildew, and is also a natural pest deterrent. And then the last one you could try is spraying your plants down with hydrogen peroxide spray. That does actually kill the fungal spores, but it's not something I have on hand or have any experience in. So since I'm a bit of a shorty, I have brought my steps along with me, just so that I can get to those slightly taller leaves. Okay, well, I've sprayed everything here quite thoroughly, but I can honestly say this is one of my least favorite things I've had to do in the garden. Hey guys, so we're done now spraying this plant, and hopefully it'll survive. Cross those fingers and hold those thumbs for us, please. Talking about thumbs, if you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Thanks for following along on today's journey with powdery mildew. I hope that it helped you, and if it didn't help you, maybe at least gave you a little bit of guidance, or at least maybe you were entertained. Have a fantastic day, guys. Bye.